Progression is a managed cloud and IT infrastructure provider to large and mid-market companies in India. Progression has been at the forefront of technology, delivering outstanding IT infrastructure services to its clients. Progression delivers end-to-end managed cloud for mission-critical applications such as SAP S/4HANA and SAP HANA, backup as a service, disaster recovery as a service and remote infrastructure monitoring and management. This is delivered through public data centers spread across India, including Progression's own data center and NEC at Gurgaon, India. In addition, Progression works with mid-market, large enterprise clients for their on-premise critical IT infrastructure. Progression designs, deliver, set up and manage their enterprise IT infrastructure. Widely recognized for its perfect combination of infrastructure, skills and governance and passion to stay abreast of the latest technology innovations and breakthroughs, Progression is ISO 27001, 2013 certified and adheres to ITIL v3 standards in service delivery.
I am Arun Sharma. I am the Vice President for Sales and Marketing in Progression, managing the key functions of sales and business development across all the three verticals the organization have. I myself have an experience of almost about 20 years in the IT industry, managing various functions of consulting, BU, P&L and other related activities, hardware sales, services sales and stuff like that I've been doing. So almost about 20 years, out of which about 16 years I spent in HP primarily, and then 1 year in EMC and stuff like that I've done. I've been a part of Progression for almost about 2 years now, right? And the journey we have started in about 2 years now. So that's about a little bit about me. Coming back, what the organization does is primarily there are three business verticals that we drive ourselves upon. Our first business vertical happens to be the SI, that is a system integration business, where we are the platinum partner to HP, where we are key partners to VMware, Commvault, any other OEM that you talk about, Cisco you talk about. From a managed file transfer, we are partners to Go Anywhere, so and stuff like that. So they are primarily the solution which we offer to the customer on premises, where we actually have to deliver the value to the customer data centers on premise. So much so that integration is required, any network is required, any compute storage is all becomes a part of the SI business. Licensing as well becomes a part of the SI business. That's the first vertical that we do. Our second business line happens to be the services business. In the services business, we are primarily doing managed services, facility management services, AMCs, support services, break fix, right? Migration, consulting, audit, all those becomes a part of my offshore services. All those becomes a part of the services BU for us, which also has a fairly large depth as an organization when it comes to the skills that we have evolved over a period of last so many years put together. That's the second business vertical we have. As a 25-year-old organization today, we also have a very interesting, which is a third business vertical, which is the cloud services offering. So we have our own cloud, which is based in Gurgaon, which is a data center which is based in Gurgaon, from where we offer various customers services around SAP, remote monitoring, disaster recovery, NOC services, infrastructure management services and stuff like that as part of my regular offering from cloud. I am also backed up from my cloud business, the second level of services, which is based out of Mumbai, Bangalore and Chennai, primarily for customers to cater to the DR needs. So there are again different sites that we have in the organization today. So that's pretty much what we do as an organization, basically three verticals: SI, services and cloud. 25-year-old organization, this organization has a wonderful story of adding and being a leader when it comes to adopting new technology interfaces, right? So let me give you an example before I answer this question specifically to you. When VMware came into India, we were one of the pioneer partners to adopt VMware as technology. When high performance computing came into India, one of the partners, one of the premier people to start doing it in India. So today, talking about one as a key priority business may not be justice to my strength as an organization. However, being asked upon, I'll just talk about where the future is heading and what is important for us. So I think from our perspective, managed services through cloud is again a very, very important element. In the managed services, when I talk about from a cloud perspective, I cover the SAP HANA hosting, I cover the customer's remote infrastructure management services, I cover DR as a service in a very big way. We are also in the process to build SOC as a practice as we move down the line. But primarily, customer would be looking at more and more infrastructure-based services which can be offered through organizations like us, where we are able to value the customers around the existing technology stack. So primarily, these three portfolios: DR, RIM, backup as a service, and SAP HANA, or I would say managed services on SAP HANA, becomes a part of my priority and from a portfolio standpoint. The world is moving, the world is shifting from a capex buying pattern to an opex buying pattern, right? And we expect more and more related business to start exponentially doing this shift from a capex to an opex kind of a thing, which is happening right now. So, what are my key priorities? How would I enable my portfolio to become in such a way that it becomes absolutely valuable and important to an organization which is looking to this kind of a shift? To support that, we already have our data center premises with us, which we are offering SAP HANA hosting as a skip as a OPEX to various organizations, right? We are also looking at a lot of values in terms of the managed services being added onto the on-premise offering that we do, which means that how can I strengthen my managed services offering to reduce less amount of load and pass on less amount of criticality at the customer side on premises. That is again a key priority for us. My third key priority would be to make a robust disaster recovery plan, which is already there with us. So as a disaster service offering, we are already offering this DR as a service to various organizations, which means that we see more and more of this getting adopted within the customer time frame, right? I mean, that's how customers will be looking at to do more and more of this. Similarly, interestingly, all these customers who have actually been into on-premise data center activities would be slowly and gradually looking at means and ways to gradually do a shifting from the data center to a cloud kind of environment. Till such time they are not able to do it, they will be very happy to look upon us as a primary vendor who can offer remote infrastructure management and services backed up by hand and feet support to create value for the customer. And that is exactly what we are doing. So on a skill set point of view, whether it's a virtualization skill or it's a network skill or it's a compute storage skill or it's a basis support migration skill, I think we have geared up ourselves to do remotely as well as on-site, so that these skills are adding value to the customer when they are moving from a capex to an opex model. IT landscape and you talk about bottleneck. So bottleneck in every year IT faces some or the other kind of reservation from some or the other thought when it comes to the industry today. So every year IT gets faced with a new challenge. We are the only industry probably in the world who faces challenge every year some or the other kind of a time. Manufacturing is static, others are static. I think what bottleneck we face, and I would not say that we are facing this time. I think this time the problem is a little different than the normal problem. The problem is that on one hand, customer wants to adopt and go into bigger means of cloud. Second, he is stuck because of the fact that he doesn't know how to manage the cloud architecture, how comfortable he would be in a cloud architecture, whether it's a public cloud offering or it's a private cloud offering. So as an organization, I have the practice of doing public cloud, including Azure and AWS as part of my practice. And I also have my own data center, right? So what bottlenecks do I see from customers coming in? Customers are looking at more and more values to be added when they are migrating from the existing premises to the cloud parameter. They are looking at more and more right outcomes. They are looking at more and more value adds to be given in the process. They are looking at more and more managed services as part of the process for them to become streamlined. Which incidentally is a way public cloud is going to take shape, right? That is the first. I'll just mention a couple of pointers in the bottleneck space. Second is that customers always expect us to have a new vendor who has an out-of-box thinking. Now, when you say out-of-the-box thinking, every time you may not be able to add that value. But what is the additional component that you keep on add? So what is important is that bottlenecks are that customer expects you to be more holistic in the portfolio, and we as a provider should be able to reach and expand as much as possible on the portfolio part of the store. That is how it has to be handled. Third point, I think I would say personally, which I feel is that there is a little bit of reservation when it comes to passing on critical information or critical architecture onto public cloud. There are group of units, there are group of organizations who feel that taking the infrastructure out on cloud may not be a right idea at this point. Maybe maturity is not there. So I think more and more content around security, case studies, success stories is what's going to help these people to come out and look upon cloud as a major offering. So these are the three bottlenecks I see, which stops us from scaling up to that level. But as I said, bottlenecks keep on changing every year, so it keeps on happening, and we are managing it the way it is supposed to be done.